right, well, thank you for joining me today. This is the Tactical Man. Today I want to share with you my EDC. And this loadout for this EDC is what I consider a bare minimum or a tactical loadout that everyone should at least consider having each one of these items in their EDC. The pin I carry, and of course you can carry any kind you want, is the Uzi tactical pin. When I got this initially, I didn't care for the ink that was in it, so I swapped it out with a Parker. But, you can certainly choose something else that you like. And what I like about it is very sturdy, so if you needed to use this in a defensive situation, you certainly could. And you can certainly use any kind of pin to do that just the same. One of the things about this is the end of it has a DNA catcher. And let me tell you, it works. I've donated quite a bit of my own DNA, just slipping my hands in and out of my pockets. The one thing I like about this, though, is when you put this in your pocket, it has a very low profile. No one really knows that you're carrying it. And you can see here in my pocket, this is what it looks like to anyone standing around me that may just so happen to notice. Doesn't look like a whole lot, nothing too threatening. In fact, most people think it's a knife until I pull it out and show them it's a pen. And they're happy to use it, quite frankly. So because you have a pen, I think you should have something to write on. What I use here is called the pocket briefcase. What I like about the pocket briefcase, as opposed to the little tablet, spiral notebook, or little moleskin type tablets, is that I can use 3x5 cards, take my notes, pull it out. There's 3 pockets inside the pocket briefcase for you to keep fresh new cards, and then you can store used cards. But when you're finished taking your notes, you can just pull the card out, slip it into one of the pockets, and start on a new card. I use blank 3x5 cards for mine. And what I like about that is I don't care for the lines. You can get it with lines, graph, or even the write and rain type 3x5 cards can be accommodated. And you can take your notes and go about your day. The next item in my EDC, and everyone should have, is a flashlight. A flashlight for not just lighting up darkness, but to use tactically against someone who maybe getting a little too aggressive or too close. Now, I've used my flashlight in that scenario quite a few times. And I started off with 1,000 lumen, and I found that any time I put that light on someone standing about 5, 3, 10 feet away from me, that the splashback was so bright that it would blind me a bit. So I toned it down, went to a 500, and same thing there. It was a little too bright, too strong, and it would affect me as well, so I'd lose my night vision. I finally found one, and this one in particular, which is a 350 lumen, which was perfect because I can hit them with a hotspot, and they couldn't see me, couldn't see anything beyond the light, and I didn't have the blindness or that white hot light blindness that you get in the dark from a flashlight affecting me any. And the cool thing is I could move from them while holding the light, turn the light off, and in one instance I was behind the person before they realized I've even moved away from where I was originally. So what I think about a flashlight is not just to light up situations where you need to see things in the dark, but also tactically to just keep someone at a distance. And I keep this on me in my left front pocket. It conceals well. I mean, if you're walking next to me, this is what you're going to see. Not a whole lot, of visibility. Next thing, and this goes without saying, I'm sure everyone carries one, is a wallet. I'm a little old school, so I use the Buxton leather RFID wallet. I like this type of wallet. It holds everything I need to hold. Some of the wallets I see nowadays are basically glorified money clips, if you will. I mean, they look cool. They hold cards, a little bit of money, not a lot. They're not really designed for money, it seems. Maybe a few bills, whatever. But they're more designed for cards, which most of us use anyway. And some of them even have little tools as part of the structure. But I go old school. I like the leather. Covers what I need. And what I like about the one I have is this little top slip there where you see the BX RFID. This portion of the wallet there, that's up, allows you to pull that out. You can hold 4 cards in it, an ID, money, what have you. So if you didn't want to carry the entire wallet and you wanted to go a little more stealth mode, then you could. This is it closed up. Nothing too fancy. But again, I'm old school. That's kind of how I roll. The next thing is a phone. I just recently got the iPhone X or iPhone 10. I'm not sure what they want to call it. I like it. It's nice. It has a larger screen, which for me really helps. Lots of cool apps to use. Man, really great camera, video, things like that. So I like the phone. Next thing I carry, again, this is just to keep your hands free, is the Plantronics 500. Little earpiece, connects to two different phones, or phone and a laptop, phone and a tablet. It'll connect to two devices. Has great sound, voice command controls. It's really light. You don't even feel it in your ear. In fact, sometimes I go about my day and forget to pull it out. Has HD quality sound. Believe it or not, you can hear a little bass in it, but it's nothing. Don't get me wrong. It's not like having a pair of Beats on your head, but you can certainly hear some bass in there. It gives you the opportunity just to listen to talk radio if you want to run around town, or just have a hands-free conversation with someone, whether you're in your car or walking down the street. So your hands are free to do whatever you need to do. One thing I think you should consider, just to have the hands-free ability. I know some people carry headphones wired. I know a lot of them now carry the little earbuds that are wireless, which are pretty good too. So same thing. The next thing I use, or I keep on me at all times, is a knife. I carry two knives. I carry the Kershaw Launch 7, and I carry that during my leisurely hours, and then in the Kershaw Shuffle, which I carry that during work hours. And I'll kind of go through each just to tell you a little bit of why. The Launch 7, I really like this one. It's a very light knife. Blade's, pretty decent sized blade as well. And this is the one I carry with me, off work hours. And the reason I do that is because I think it's more of a defensive weapon if I had to use it that way. But again, it's more of a utility carry. And the reason I don't carry this knife is, as you can see, it sticks out in my pocket a little too much, and anyone looking at it would certainly know, okay, he's got a knife. And some people get a little uneasy when you're carrying a weapon in their place of business. So when I go visit clients, I really don't want that to be sticking out my back pocket. So that's why I carry this in a more leisurely after hours, because I'm usually wearing a shirt that's not tucked in, and that gets covered so you won't even see it. I do keep it in my back right pocket just next to my wallet. This is the Kershaw Shuffle, and I like this as a utility knife, and as you can see, can opener at the end, because it's always beer 30 at some point, right? It has a little screwdriver tip in for striking or prying. I've had to use it a few times for just that. The blade I keep very sharp. The reason I keep this as a knife for work, it's certainly not the beer bottle opener, but it's just the fact that it's a knife for cutting things. And not only that, it conceals very well. When I put this one in my back pocket, you can't even tell it's there. This is all anyone would see. I've had people ask me, what is that, a knife? What do you have in your back pocket? I just tell them it's a wallet clip, and then nothing else is said about it. No one considers it anymore. The guns I carry, this was the one I carry during my leisure hours. PPQ, it's 1.3 inches wide, and I carry it because it's pretty thin concealed. It's 9 millimeter, carries 14 rounds, one of the chambers. You can see the 1.3 inches wide is not that big, so it doesn't really print or show anything, and I can hide it pretty well in casual attire. I use a Kydex holster for that. I carry it at a 230 position. It's comfortable for me there. In fact, I don't even notice it there anymore. I've been carrying so long. And the one I use for work is almost a half an inch thinner, and that's going to be the XDS. I carry the 4-inch 45, and the reason I like the 45 is I just like the way it feels. I carry two backup magazines that hold 7 rounds in each, and this pistol here at that format will hold 5 rounds and then one in the chamber, so 6. And with the extensions that I attach, you get basically a full size. And like I said, what I like about this, I wear this with my work attire, and unfortunately I have to wear a suit, tie, and all that jazz. So I'm pretty covered up, and I wear my shirt tucked in. What I like about this is it's only, I think, 0.9 inches. Like I said, it's almost half an inch thinner than the PPQ, which is pretty thin to begin with. But this is 0.9 inches. When I'm wearing this thing, you can't even tell it's there. So those are the two guns I carry, and those are the reasons I carry the two. Same thing here, Kydex, tuckable. And because I carry a gun, and all of you who carry a gun should never leave the house without this next item, a tourniquet of some sort. I carry the SWAT T tourniquet. What I like about the SWAT T, the SWAT T can be used as a tourniquet or a pressure dressing if need be. You know, depending on how tight you put it or where you put it. Another thing I carry is ability to blood clot. Now there's the quick clot, I forget what the other one's called. This is similar to that. It's called bleed stop. It's pretty inexpensive for what it does. I think this was about $5. There's 3 2-gram packets in it, and the packets are pretty thin. So what I do is I carry the SWAT T, I carry the bleed stop there, 2 packets of that, and I wrap it with saran wrap about 3 times around. And the reason I do that is because if I needed a chest seal, I can certainly use the saran wrap for that as well. I also carry handkerchiefs with me, 100% cotton. Usually I use them to wipe sweat, things like that. And I'm in an area that's just hot as heck during the summer. But if I had to pack a wound, I would certainly use that to pack a wound. Then I would use the SWAT T as a pressure dressing along with the blood clot, you know. Keys, nothing fancy. I see a lot of great things, a lot of great tools for keys, the key bar, things like that. I don't really carry a lot of keys with me. I carry one for my lockbox for my gun I keep in the trunk, as you can see there. Car key, and then just another key for a back door to a tool shed. So it's nothing I really carry. And if I have to turn the car in, if I'm going to get an oil change or something like that, then I just unclip it from the carabiner, give that to him, and it's good to go. And if I ever needed something to, I don't know, as a weapon, you can certainly see how that might be used as a weapon. And if you can't, well, that's okay. So this is my EDC. The thing in the middle there is just a voice recorder. Sometimes I'll take voice notes. But like I said, I carry the PPQ, after hours, off hours. I carry the XDS during hours, my cell phone, my earpiece for hands-free, flashlight, pen, in this case a tactical pen. And in this photo, I didn't have the shuffle with me because it was in my briefcase for work or my attaché. But either one of those 2 knives, my old school wallet, Buxton, like I said, RFID, and then the pocket briefcase with the 3x5 cards, and my keys. And that's my EDC. I think this is a tactical loadout for anyone. It gives you the ability to kind of do the things you need to do throughout the day to get through the day successful. Now, certainly, you can add to this. And again, you should, depending on what you do and how you spend most of the time of your day, or where you spend your day, or what you have planned for that day. So absolutely add to, change up the items I show here. But for an EDC loadout, this should be the bare minimum, at least in my opinion. So thanks for watching. Hope I've given you something to think about. And if you're kind of beyond this, then great, you're ahead of the curve. But if you're lacking in some of these areas, really consider adding them to your EDC. This is the Tactical Man. I appreciate you joining me today. Oh, before I go, I do have one kind of bonus thing that I'd like to share with you. This is called the EcoZoom. It's a torch type stove. It burns highly efficient. And when I say highly efficient, there is no smoke that comes off this thing, except for when you're starting to light it. At that point, the fire's not necessarily developed, the heat's not quite there yet. But at the beginning, you'll get some smoke, but once it gets going, there's no smoke comes from this thing at all. Here, took it out in the backyard, cooked some steaks. I put 4 oak little chunks and a piece of coal. And that was way more than I needed to cook these 2 steaks. And as you can see, this is, as we're getting to go, that's kind of what the fire looks like once it got going. And let me tell you, it puts out some great heat, very efficiently burning, with little fuel to keep it going that way. And then mistakes. Those things look pretty damn nice considering, 4 chunks of oak with a piece of charcoal, keeping that going. And it went on way beyond the time I needed to cook this. Appreciate you joining me, and we look forward to seeing you again next time. This is the Tactical Man. Be tactical.